WordPress Accessibility Day 2023 Lightning Talk, Making a Visual Tool Accessible to Screen Readers, with speakers Amber Hinds, CEO, Equalize Digital. This presentation was recorded September 28th, 2023. Hello, everyone. My name is Amber Hinds. I'm the CEO of Equalize Digital, and I'm excited to be presenting making a visual tool accessible to screen reader users, along with Raghavendra. Raghavendra, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Raghavendra. I'm founder of digitalalienway.com. I'm a certified professional in web accessibility.
So I'm going to start by playing a short video. It doesn't have any sound in it. I'm going to explain what's happening and describe it for anyone who can't see. And it is something that sort of shows what we built and what we were talking about trying to make accessible to people who are screen reader users. So this is the block editor. We're scrolling down below the editor. There is a meta box for accessibility checker. And then I'm going to the details tab and I'm just going to click on the image missing alternative text. There are two issues and I can now click a link that says view on page, and that will take me to the front end of the website and it will load the issue and highlight that image that was missing alternative text to help me find it. And then I go find it up in the block editor and I just add the alternative text. So I'm writing, this is an image of a person. I tried to type David wearing a suit. I had a typo, so I fixed it and I hit save. And then if I update my post, when I scroll back down, the accessibility checker box updates and I can see there's only one image missing alternative text. Just pausing for a second. This works pretty well for things that are in the block editor. Usually it's easy, especially if it's an image, to see it and say, okay, I know what this is. But we're going to look at ARIA hidden now, and we'll see if I go. So we'll see if I go, I've expanded ARIA hidden. I see these social media links. I scroll up. Oh, they're not in my post. So if I click view on page, where this is helpful is it's going to show me again on the front end where this shows up and it's down in the footer. So I would know, oh, if I want to fix this, I would have to go fix this in my widgets or wherever my footer content is created on the post. Now, if I refresh the page, I'm going to show you a little bit of what it looks like to just walk through the accessibility checker issues purely on the front end without reading them on the table on the back end. It's going to load. It says 20 errors and 6 warnings. There is a box there in the bottom right corner, and on it there's buttons for previous and next, and you can click through and it will move through each issue. So we're seeing image, empty alternative text, improper use of link, incorrect heading order, and it's jumping through the page and highlighting different elements on the page. What if we get to something that we're not sure about? So I can see this graduate programs, advanced degrees, it's saying improper use of link. And I think, well, that's really weird. I think that's a link that works. This is where we added a show code functionality on the front end. So I can click show code. It will show me the link. And oh, I see, look, it says href. The href on the link is actually going to a hashtag. It's not going to an actual link. So that's something where I forgot to put in the link where see advanced degrees is supposed to go. So that explains to me why this is saying this isn't a link. Of course, it's supposed to be a link. It's just missing the URL. Then sometimes we get things where we can't actually see the element because it's hidden, and we've added a warning that says the element is not visible. Try disabling styles. So let me show you how that works. There is a disable styles button in the main accessibility checker panel, and if we click that, then it will load the entire page I can see in this instance that it is a search button, which I can see up at the top of the page. I have my skip to content link. I have current students, maps, directory, giving. So if I come back and I enable styles again, I get my page and I can see, oh, I have a search icon at the top, right next to those other items. If I click on it, then this is where that button is that doesn't have sufficient contrast. It's highlighting what just looks like an empty white square because I think that there is a white icon on a white background here. So this is one way that I can help find things if they're not visible. And as you can see, it's targeted at sighted users, but our goal with this was not to make something that only sighted people can use. I want to touch for a minute on why we made this tool screen reader accessible and why we've been focusing on this. But for us, it really aligned with our vision. We really are striving towards a day when all people have equal access to information and tools on the internet, regardless of their ability. And so because of that, it made sense for us to also ensure that even our visual tools work for people who don't have sight. I also think that there are a use case for screen reader users who want to go through issues that the plugin is identifying on the front end context. It allows them to reach other elements on the website that maybe are adjacent to code that's been flagged or wrap around it. And then the other thing is for us, this was a step towards building something that allows accessibility testers to log issues in the plugin as they manually test. It's something that we know we're going to do. I don't have a timeline for it yet, but this is the beginning to being able to show that we can have something that functions on the front end of the website on top of the website itself and integrates with the plugin without causing problems for perhaps a blind tester who is auditing the website. And then there is a bullet point of legal compliance. Legal compliance has nothing to do with this on our end, but I wanted to say that because if you're trying to justify why a visual tool that you are building, whether it's for a client or for your own company, and you need to justify that to higher ups at the company, why you're spending your time on it, legal compliance may be a good reason to justify investing in accessibility of everything you build, even things that you think are targeted at sighted users more than a non-sighted user. So we decided we want to do it. How have we tested it so far? All of our devs do accessibility testing, and then we also come in, I accessibility test, and we have people like Raghavendra and an accessibility specialist at our company who do accessibility testing. We do manual keyboard testing, zoomed into 400%. That modal window that you saw, we made sure that even if it is overlaid on top of the website and the website is zoomed in 400% because someone is a low vision user, you can't see a lot of the website, but you can still interact with all of the content in the modal. It functions from a reflow perspective. I did screen reader testing voiceover on Mac, and Raghavendra did screen reader testing in VDA on Windows and possibly JAWS on Windows as well. So I want to hand it over to Raghavendra now so you can see how he experiences the plugin with his screen reader. Raghavendra, do you want to take it away?
So since I'm demoing the accessibility checker plugin here, if I have to go right now, this is the editor.
Editor content region clickable add title edit multi-line clickable admissions. Clickable block, heading document paragraph block document editable college university clickable button text edit multi-line clickable apply now.
So these are all the blocks, but if I need to jump just to the accessibility checker, I'm going to press the key number 2 on my keyboard and it will take me to the heading level 2 within this editor.
Clickable accessibility checker heading clickable level 2.
And which is the accessibility checker. That accessibility
Button
checker is very
toggle
easy.
panel.
Accessibility checker is easy to navigate over here.
Head button expanded toggle panel, accessibility checker.
And it is expanded. All the content is, I can collapse the content also.
Collapsed, expanded, list with 3 items clickable button current summary.
I have the summary.
Clickable button details.
Details.
Clickable button readability.
Readability. There's a self-explanatory, the summary of issues, the detail, each detail of issues, and the readability score, if this content is readable.
For the developers in the room, it's worth noting that this is an element that we actually ended up remediating after doing accessibility tests. As you can see in the code here, these tabs were actually originally coded as links, and then we did our screen reader testing and we realized that they needed to be buttons. And so we used aria role equals button and added some button functionality, and then we used aria current equals true to communicate to screen reader users which tab is currently being viewed.
Out of list 83%. Past tests.
I'm just pressing down arrow here to navigate to the static text.
Star. 12. Errors. 10. Contrast errors. 5. Warnings. 2. Ignored items. 10th. Reading. Level. A simplified summary has not been included for this content. Star true accessibility requires manual testing. In addition, link learn how to manually test for accessibility. Out of region editor settings, region list with 2 items button page selected.
So we finished the accessibility checker tab here. So I need to go back. I'm going to press Shift B.
Editor content region clickable list with 3 items readability button, clickable details button, current, details button focused current, clickable button readability.
So I activated detail.
Out of list clickable heading level 310 insufficient color contrast.
So we have headings for each issue. So I'll just navigate between the issues using header H key.
Clickable 7 improper use of link heading level 3. Clickable 2 image missing alternative text heading level 3. Clickable 2 ambiguous anchor text heading level 3.
So another issue that we are going to watch an example here is
clickable 2 image missing alternative text heading level 3.
Images missing alternate text. And
link read documentation for image missing button collapsed expanded.
I expanded the list of issues over here.
Heading level 4 issue ID 171.
We have the issue ID.
You'll notice as Raghavendra goes through this with the screen reader that you're hearing headings that are not visible on the page and also issue IDs. This was another enhancement that we made after doing user testing and getting feedback. For a sighted person, they don't really need the issue ID, and they're seeing this displayed as if it's a table, but it couldn't be coded as a table because of some of the complex functionality that needs to happen around our ignore settings screen visibility. So where we landed was we are pulling the issue ID from the database and outputting that in a heading above each section for screen reader users, and then we reference that. So on the image, for example, we don't know what the alternative text for this is because the user obviously didn't provide it. So we've given an alternative text that references the ID number for the issue, which then makes it more clear that this image goes with that issue.
Less IMG decoding equals async class equals GB testimonial avatar. src equals https://e11checkdemo.opengine.com PM1 graphic image for issue 171.
So when I read the testimonial avatar, I knew this is part of the testimonial block somewhere. So I can do 2 things. I can go fix it in the testimonial block within the backend editor, but I would want to check which issue is it in the front end. So what I do is generally
out of ignore button collapsed. View opens a new window link.
So I'm going to open it.
Busy about blank admission image missing alternative text error 8 of 26.
So I think it's worth noting here, we had a lot of internal conversations about this and whether or not we'll keep it as there's 2 separate modals almost that are up over the page. But one thing initially, they were jumping focus when you hit that next button actually to the element on the page. But then I'm like, it's really hard to get back to what the problem actually was. So what I had them do was take the focus into the modal that explains the issue, which I think works a little better.
So this is more helpful. The cited screen reader user who is also an accessibility specialist is more interested in the code because they can fix it they can guide the developer or the person with whom they are working towards the code. And for non-technical people, a regular WordPress user, the front end, when the issue gets highlighted, it's easy for them to fix it. As I said, my site assistant, who is a designer, and she never used WordPress, Gutenberg. She never used WordPress in her life. And she's the first time she used WordPress, she used Gutenberg. She's able to design websites. But this one got her up to speed on accessibility much faster rather than any other Chrome extension.
This was a fast look at some of the things we've been doing to make Equalize Digital Accessibility Checker more accessible for screen reader users. I hope that you've found it interesting to see how Raghavendra engages with the plugin and also that it's inspiring. And I want to leave you with 2 action items. The first is for plugin developers. Please test your plugins with a screen reader, or if you're not sure how, hire a tester to test it for you. Decide what can you fix this week. Even if it's small, you can make a big difference. Website creators, try using a screen reader or an automated tool like Accessibility Checker. We have a free version on WordPress.org to find problems on your website and make a plan for fixes. There are tons of people here at WordPress Accessibility Day in the chat or speaking or among the organizing team who would be happy to help. Reach out, get started now. Thanks so much. And if you want to learn more about me and Accessibility Checker, visit equalizedigital.com. Thank you to WordPress Accessibility Day 2023 sponsors. Platinum sponsor, Equalize Digital. Equalize Digital's Accessibility Checker plugin is an automated accessibility scanning tool that helps WordPress websites become and stay accessible. Platinum sponsor, Gravity Forms. Gravity Forms is the professional form builder that you need to create beautiful, powerful, and accessible forms. Gold sponsors, 20i, DQ, Empire Caption Solutions, Pressable, and WP Engine. Silver sponsors, CodeGeek, Drake Cooper, GoDaddy, Lone Rock Point, NerdPress, Overnight Website by Kinetic Iris, Riola Networks, A11Y Collective, and The Blogsmith. Bronze sponsors, Accessicart, Green Geeks Web Hosting, Hall Analysis SEO Consulting, HDC, ITX, IvyCat, MetaBox, Pixel Chefs, Simply Schedule Appointments, SiteGround, Termageddon, Underrepresented in Tech, Weglot, and Yoast.